Yes, we are here in Santee at what appears to be a regular suburban shopping center, but this is no ordinary suburban shopping center. It's a suburban shopping center with a light rail station in the middle of it. That's right, we are going to ride the Copper Line. See, look, it's Trolley Square at Santee Town Center, where over there it's just Santee Town Center and Santee Town Center. And then over there's the San Diego River. There's also a bus station behind the shopping center and some relatively new apartments. Kind of weird that the directory doesn't show you where you are at the bus platform. Here's the overview with the train tracks cutting right through the middle. So we got like 3 bus routes that serve the area. And apparently a casino shuttle stop right here. And bike lockers that are questionably tall enough for my bike. How the heck does that place stay in business? And the bus platform is not very far from the train. Outdated information. Plus the green line goes past Old Town now. So prior to about a year ago, the orange line used to go all the way to Arnell and the green line used to go all the way to Santee. But because this part is single track, it was causing major delays across the entire system. So instead of double tracking the last part, they just split it into a separate line to isolate the delays. The part that's single tracked is between the last 2 stations of Santee and Gillespie Field, which also has the disadvantage of running in the median of Cuyamaca Street, where the train potentially has to wait at 4 traffic signals. The tracks to Santee opened in 1995, originally as part of the Orange Line. Back then, this station was just a parking lot in the middle of a dirt field, where the Trolley Square would eventually be completed almost a decade later. As you can see here on this old map, the green was all the way here, and the orange all the way here. Wow, that looks really old. But it's actually only a couple years old because it has the UCSD blue line. And the only new track they had to put was a new platform at El Cajon for the transfer right here. And here it is, just a 1-car set. And I must add that I love the boulder theme since we are out near the mountains with the boulders. And there's your brass plaque. There's a bus that showed up. Let's get on the train. Sweet, sweet air conditioning. We are off. Take note of the ridership. I'm the only one. Party train! To be fair, I was riding at a pretty dead time of day, where later there was quite a crowd boarding in El Cajon. We just turned onto Cuyamaca Street. Let's see if we can make it without any red lights. I personally am a strong opponent to the concept of street running. I feel we should have left it in the 1940s, before automobiles were the dominant life form on this planet. I mean, vehicle on the streets. At least they had the decency to put us in the median instead of with mixed traffic. Here we're crossing under the 52 freeway, and it looks like we've cleared 3 of the 4 intersections without having to stop. And we got the red light at Prospect. The reason the Copper Line uses 1-car train sets is not only due to the lower ridership on this portion, but also the shorter trains clear the intersections faster, alleviating traffic congestion on the streets of Santee. As you can see the limitations of this right-of-way as we are waiting in traffic. That's so dumb. Why would you build a train if it has to wait for cars? Why would you do this? This is in fact the only single-track part of the entire trolley system, as well as the only street running segment outside of downtown and Commercial Street. But now we're out of the traffic, heading towards the next stop at Gillespie Field. Alright, we have broken away from the street running, and we're crossing Gillespie Field Airport. It's just a small general aviation airport. There aren't many parts of San Diego County that are flat enough to put an airport. That's my impression. And it has a trolley station. And it's double tracked here, so we passed the other one. We continue south here along the Forester Creek Channel, and then cut through rows of industrial buildings. We then get an elevated crossing above Fletcher Parkway before stopping at Arnell Avenue Station in El Cajon.
Next station, Arnell Avenue.
dealership zone, it seems. Crossing under the 8 freeway, we make our approach to the final stop at El Cajon Transit Center, which is very much located in a car dealership district. And we're arriving at El Cajon on the new platform. No, I want to enjoy the air conditioning some more. And there's the green and the orange lines that terminate here now. So there goes the copper line back to Santee. And then we got the green and the orange lines, which go to downtown, Old Town, and Lemon Grove, and all those other places. And then quite an illustrious amount of buses right here, with a convenience store too. That's pretty neat. And of course, this is the new platform for the copper line, which somehow costs $14 million. Why do I feel this is something that could have been built for less than the budget of, say, the movie Napoleon Dynamite? Now this whole thing might seem like a cop-out for not double tracking and grade separating the rest of the green line. In reality, this whole thing is a cop-out for not double tracking and grade separating the rest of the green line. So at the inconvenience of people in Santee, the green line is now more efficient with way less effort. Still pretty cool, and I love the name copper, because copper is a cool thing because it's metal, and metal is cool. Now I might be overreacting here, but it's hard for me to see the copper line as anything other than a botched amputation of the green line, where instead of paying for the corrective surgery to fix the last segment of track to Santee by putting it in a double track trench, we just get this half-ass solution. That's not to say it didn't work. The green and the orange lines are much more reliable now, as well as the copper line segment too. It just makes me wonder to what extent this type of solution would even be tolerable. Like, what if Metrolink made everything south of Mission Viejo a separate line, because they can't double track the San Clemente Cliff part? Or how about we split the San Bernardino line into 5 separate lines? I'm sure we would like that. MTS claims this will save them $1 million a year in operational costs somehow, maybe from the shorter trains? And given that this new platform at El Cajon costs $14 million, I'm not sure I even want to know how much a 5/8 mile long double track trench under Cuyamaca Street would cost. They probably figured it wasn't worth it for the amount of ridership this part gets. And you probably couldn't go elevated because of that freeway that's in the way. I don't know, I just feel Santee deserves better. For a place that's cool enough to build a suburban shopping center with a light rail station in it, I feel they deserve a 1-seat ride to downtown San Diego. That's my story and I'm sticking to it.